And welcome to today news on Vanguard Life. I am Precious Chukudi. Begin with the front pages of the papers this morning, starting off with Vanguard. Vanguard is leading with Refinery will ask Dangote to sell forex at good rates, and that's coming from EMEFIELE. Says CBN government helped him build a refinery, raises interest rate to 18.5%. Nasima Ipman others react. Stories above pressure on me, can't wait for May 29, and that's coming from Buhari on page of 43. KEYAMO to Buhari, it is unconstitutional to appoint Minister of State. Baja deputy clash at plenary. On page 9, Paris Club debt, federal government to stop deductions from state accounts. And Tina Turner, queen of rock and roll, dies at 83. Lastly, on the front page of Vanguard, we have PPI, bureaucracy, others scuttle delivery of 25,000 megawatts, and that's coming from investigation. Let's have a look at the Guardian newspaper. The Guardian is leading with MPC shuns bleeding economy, raising interest rate to 18.5%. You can see that on page 6. Buhari retains cabinet till May 29. 6. Senate approval for judgment debt. Naira faces downside risk, slumps to 760 naira per dollar at black markets. Speaker Sheikh Bajabi Amila was say clash at Ugochinyere, 62 others. Okay, Abbas Kalu. Senate presidency, Izunazo leads Akpabio Yari Kalu in APT's media assessment. Concerns as Buhari allegedly waives 70 billion naira spectrum fee for telcos. Also, stories above, we have the Buhari fragile pieces, an economy scorecard full of trauma, part 3. All right, let's take a look at the Nation newspaper. The Nation is leading with Buhari and battling to cope with last minute pressure. The writer says military top brass send off C. President charges armed forces to do more on security. Stories about why we picked Akpabio by Shetima. The writer says Uzodima Oke's APC choice. Buhari seeks not to pay $556 million, 98.5 million pounds, and 226 billion naira judgment debt. Interest rates hit 18.5%. FEC still alive, says the federal government. Nigeria airplane to fly in. Lastly, on the front page of the Nation, we have Oyo chieftaincy bill passed. All right, that's all we can take on the front pages of the paper. Join us after the break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining, it's still today in the news of Hanging Life. I am Precious Chukudi. Joining me to talk about some of the stories on the front pages of the papers this morning is Mr. Ludai Mayowa, publisher of Global Financial Digest. Good morning, sir. It's good to have you join me this morning.
Good morning, Precious. Nice to be here today.
All right, let's delve in to the papers this morning. And of course, the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, has said that the Dangote refinery will be persuaded to sell foreign exchange earnings to bank at a good rate. And he also said that it is time for us to exit fuel subsidy. What's your take on this?
Well, thank you very much. Okay, what the CBN governor said is probably the ideal thing to say, but the practicability of the appeal is another thing entirely. When Dangote Petroleum Refinery start operation, probably by August or end of July, we'll be exporting some oil to neighboring countries, to African countries, and it's expected to end dollars throughout those processes and repatriate the money to Nigeria. So expectation of the SCB was that it will be selling to the banks at probably official rate or a little bit above official rate. But again, we have to look at it from this way. If Dangote is buying the crude at dollar rate, then definitely we want to recoup his money. And he will go for the best. For a businessman will go for the best exchange rates available to him. And I don't think the CBN has a control over that really, except probably they enter into an agreement or a negotiation with him. Even at that, I'm not sure that Dangote will want to sell all this foreign exchange earning to the banks at the official rate. Why you want to keep some for maintenance of the refinery you will still want to benefit from the disparity between the official and the black market rate. So for me, we are waiting to see how the CBN government is going to put that one out.
Hmm. Look, some stakeholders are of the opinion that CBN and Dangote should merge, the foreign forex rates rather. And according to them, they're saying that this will deal with the dangers of dual or multiple exchange rates. What do you think about that?
It is very difficult for us to have a single exchange rate in an economy that is not growing as it ought to grow, in an economy that is not earning as much foreign exchange as it ought to earn. But the exchange rate is determined by supply and demand. And with the demand as of today is higher than the supply side. So there's no way we can have equilibrium exchange rate in terms of one exchange rate at the official and the parallel market. Reason being that many people are looking for a foreign exchange, and when they go to their bank, the bank cannot meet their need. So they have to find alternative way of sourcing their foreign exchange. And there lies the premium that, hey, okay, want to buy foreign exchange, I have foreign exchange, I have $500, want to buy $500, but I can only sell for you at so rate. For me, if you want to take it, have it. If you don't want to take it, leave it. So until we have sufficient foreign reserve that can support supply, that's why you can talk about a single exchange rate. But as it is today, it is very, very difficult for us to have a single exchange rate. It's not practicable.
All right. Apart from ending us, foreign exchange and also stopping us from wasting our scarce dollar on importation, what other multiplier benefit do you think that the Dangote refinery would benefit us in the country?
Yes, there are two ways people are looking at Dangote Refinery coming to stream. That's to say that it will help to eliminate scarcity of the commodity in the country today, because we depend on solely on the importation of finished products. And this is the nature that produce that export the crude and import the refined. It's an irony, so to say. So people are expecting that with the Dangote refinery be able to supply 100% of our local needs, we will know there shouldn't be cause for scarcity. That's probably an advantage. And the second advantage is that any foreign exchange through export of refined product to African countries will deepen our foreign reserve. That means that whatever the money, the dollar enhance, then they're going to bring it back to the country, which will reduce, the gap between supply and demand. And probably there will be appreciation on the naira exchange rate. Those are the things. And then the creation of jobs for people to work there, and the indirect jobs around the refineries. We're talking about food sellers, we're talking of accommodations, we're talking of other secondary businesses around that place, which will have a multiplier effect on the local economy in Lagos and Lekki and the other area. Besides that, we face the danger of a monopoly, because Nigerians solely depend on Dangote refinery to supply the local consumption. The tendency as a businessman wants to take advantage of the pricing, and he has a monopoly of determining the pricing. We have seen what happened to cement in last few years when we are producing locally. Before we are producing cement locally, cement was very cheap, so to say, of what we are consuming at foreign exchange. But now the few producers locally, they are the one determining the rate, and nothing anybody can do. Government has not shown some level of capacity to help to determine the rate of a cement in this country. We have seen the producer arbitrarily increase their price of cement, and nothing has been happening. Nobody has been able to control it. So people are afraid that we might have same development repeated in the food refinery. If he's a sole supplier, then he has the hits to determine the rate we are buying it. And if he determines the rate, and we cannot refuse it, because if you refuse it, I say, so sorry, I'm exporting my product outside this country. Although the reason why the NNPC took 20% stake in it, so to help to manage that aspect. But 20% cannot manage, cannot really substantially hold the company back, say, hey, you must supply us. I'm can tell us, okay, instead of supplying 100%, I can supply 50%. So to create a gap. And when you create a gap, it means the price will go up. So definitely those are the pros and the cons for Dangote cement.
Mm. All right. What do you think is the realistic price range for fuel products now? Do you think it's become lower or it's going to be higher now that there's a refinery?
Definitely it's going to be higher than what we are buying today officially. We are buying about 195 per liters today because government is subsidizing it, landing cost. We are expecting that probably the price will go a little higher if the Dangote comes to stream and selling directly to government because we are going to eliminate the cost of sourcing for foreign exchange to buy the finished product. We are going to eliminate the freight, that is the shipping cost. We are going to eliminate from the demurrage in the port. We are going to eliminate some built unnecessarily built up what is it built up costs into this product. So definitely that's what we are going to see. So the price is going to go up really, definitely, you know, and it may not be as much as if you remove the subsidy and we are still importing. But definitely we are going to have increase in price of uh, uh, consumption locally.
Mm. How soon do you think that we might eventually stop fuel importation since we have a refinery? Do you think it's going to take like a month or two?
No, that Dangote fuel will not be ready until August 1st, was according to what he said. So definitely, you are still going to wait that long for us to actually experiment on the impact of his productions on the local consumption. So we still have a long way to go. I want to believe that the refinery was commissioned just to please the outgoing president to commission it as a formality and the rest. The process of finalizing the refinery is still ongoing. It has to be test run, it has to produce the crude and see the other accounting. So there are a lot of processes expected for the refinery to be put in place for it to produce maximally. So like Iman said, we are not going to expect a finished product from that refinery until August.
Mm. All right, let's move ahead. And Festus Keyamo has told Buhari that it is unconstitutional to appoint Minister of State, and it's practically not working for many appointed. And that's like what he's saying basically is like when the person goes to look for a job and is about to leave the job, and he now tells his boss that he shouldn't have created that role for him. What do you agree with what he's saying? Because it seems like he has enjoyed that tenure and now he's coming out to say, "Oh, this space of office shouldn't have been created in the first place," and all of that.
Yeah, I've read so much about that on Twitter, and I've seen that Yahoo demand serve all the passion he's gotten from the public for making that statement. The statement might be right in the first place. Basically, people have actually said it over and over again that it's a duplication of responsibility. What can the Minister of Health, what can you not do with the progress and creating Minister of State for Health and that kind of thing? It doesn't work really. I agree with him on the basis of that it's not working. It creates clash. We have to move KEYAMO from Ministry of Niger Delta to Ministry of Labour. When there was clash between him and the Ministry of Labour, I think they are able to manage their crisis in that place. There was still clash between him and the Ministry of Labour again, but they are able to manage that in the little that it was not coming to the public, so to say. So for me, the office of Minister of State was a creation of politicians to satisfy their constituency, to satisfy to provide job for the boys. So to say, I agree with Keyamo on that one. But what we I disagree with him that why did he accept the position? Why did he not resign and make it clear to the president? Say, look, we can't appoint me to office that is unconstitutional. Does that mean that he's ready to refund all the money he earned from that office? His acts and utterance during his time of the occupied office are illegal, are unconstitutional. Is he ready to refund the money and the parameter of office during the period? These are the questions we need to put back to him. And is a moral burden on him. We will carry it to the end because if he has come out and say this post does not exist in the constitution, it's in illegal position, and for him to occupy a legal position for that long, then he need to pay for it. And if he refuses to pay for it, then he will carry moral burden for a long time to come.
All right, let's talk about this one now. The president has said that he's under intense pressure in the last few days of his administration. And my question is, what will the president's administration be remembered for?
Buhari administration is very difficult for us to analyze. Uh, Let me look at the positive side really. Uh, Buhari has helped to build second Niger bridge, completed it. He has successfully pushed towards the end the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. We have seen their impact in the railway sector of the economy, so to say, and we have seen rail coming back to uh, likely to function in our country. The rail was terribly bad before. And we are equally see some pocket of development in the airport before the new terminals in the Murtala Mohammed International Airport finished and controlled by the government. And we have seen that across the nation. Beside that, in terms of economy, Buhari failed woefully in managing our economy because the way you measure the impact of government on the people is the living standard. Are you better off today than when you were in 2015? That's the question we have got to ask people. The life of Nigeria has gone worse from bad to worse under his regime. Poverty has increased tremendously. The exchange rate has gone haywire during his tenure. The failure of the government to manage the economy has caused pains and caused death in this country, has caused people, many Nigerians today are fleeing through the land, through the sea, through the air, across the what they call the Japan decision came alive in the course of his government, because the people are suffering. People are suffering in this country today because the government failed to meet the yearning of Nigerian citizens, Nigerian people. And in terms of politics, the government equally, Buhari government has failed, because when you look at the lopsidedness.
Sir, I can't hear you.
Lopsided. They are more from the north than the south. The man is very, he's treated towards his religion, Islam. He treated towards his religion north in his appointment, in his policy towards the north. Look at the social investment, for example. You are sharing, you are supposed to be sharing 55,000 to the poorest of the poor in this country. Majority people in the north, in the south, are not getting the money. But when you go to the north, we can see that the money are being given to people in the north. But here in the south, we cannot see somebody say, I received 5,000 naira from the government. So these are the evil of this government. If I want to rate Buhari, I'm rating 30%, in terms cumulatively, because he has failed to fulfill all his promises. Look at the security situation, the herdsmen, the bandits, the terrorists, the Boko Haram, the swap. They expand during his tenure. Corruption became a bigger business. The former Nigerian Refinery stole about 1 and something billion naira under his watch. The immediate past Minister of Power stole 22 billion naira from a single project. You can imagine what happened to the procurement system process. There are so many allegations of corruptions. His families were involved. His stooges were involved in corruptions, and he was not able to do anything about it because the body that going accumulated. So we can score the man with no performance overall.
All right, let's take a look at Mr. and Mrs. before we go. And Mrs. is speaking this morning. She said, yes, eating fruit before meals ensures better absorption of nutrients. And Mr. says, but growing up as a child, I was taught to eat fruit after the meal. And Mrs. says, well, I'm in charge now.
That's women's power, really. Mrs. is always in charge, whether you like it or not. They have the control over the family. So she exacting her position is, for me, is the right thing to do, and man had to keep cool down for this. So I back her up this morning.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Oludari Mayowa, publisher, Global Financial Digest. Thank you for sharing your talk with us this morning.
Thanks for having me today, and have a lovely day.
Yes. All right. Also remember that you can equally like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. To find out up-to-date stories, go to our website, www.vanguardngr.com, to find out more. I am Precious Chukudi, and thank you